As I move this motion today, I am reminded of the transient nature of the human life. However, our consolation is that our former president led a successful and fulfilled life, both as a gallant and courageous soldier who rose to the peak of his career as a military officer, and also as a successful Democrat who governed this country uninterruptedly for a 2-term of 8 years as elected president of this country.
So I thought everything that was said there. But one thing that remained clear and in line with the preponderance of opinion of Nigerians is that President Buhari was a man of integrity, a highly principled person who stood by what he believed in, and that was integrity. He never compromised that. He never compromised. If whatever you say, you go round and go round, the end point, the dead end, is that he was a man of integrity, highly principled. That is the number one quality of the late former great leader. So I want to, quite frankly, commend Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the state burial that was given to him as a mark of respect. It has never happened like that in this country.
Most of our colleagues have spoken. The country has spoken. In fact, even the world has spoken about the demise of our former president. I just want to quote from the Holy Quran, and which is common. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That means, indeed, to Allah we belong, and to Allah we shall return. Mr. President, as many of us have said, was a man of integrity. Not only that, he was a very, very humble person. He was a very, very honest person. And he was also humorous. He jokes with whoever he meets. I have been privileged to be close to Mr. President even when he was a major.
Me to say a word or two about our departed former president, former head of state and former president. In these chambers, looking around, I was the only governor in an opposition party when Buhari was elected and became president of Nigeria 2015. So it's appropriate that you have recognized me to say a thing or two. I would like to begin by, on behalf of my constituents, join all of us in this Senate, the leadership of this Senate, and the president of our country, to condole with the entire country, the family, and the Daura Emirate, of which I'm also proposed to be holder of an eminent title. I will still visit there to condole our father, His Highness the Emir, and the Emirate Council. I want to condole all for the irreparable loss that our country has suffered on account of the passing of our dear president and former head of state. There are very few Nigerians who had the privilege and the honor and the mercy and grace that God gave to Buhari to lead and serve a great nation like Nigeria, firstly as head of state, quite a young age, and then later elected democratic president twice. And he served for the full 8-year tenure and retired back home. Very few Nigerians. It's a great honor that God gave him. Mr. President, today we mourn him as a leader who was not corrupt. I'm not sure anybody will say that President Buhari was a corrupt leader. He wasn't corrupt. He was not corrupt in any form. And people were even afraid to discuss matters that might border on corruption with him because he's not going to be interested in it. Today, Mr. President, we also mourn one of our greatest leaders.
President Buhari, for now, is still the most celebrated president even after death. You could see the way the state burial was arranged, which was the most elaborate and the most expensive state burial we have ever witnessed since 1960.
Not expensive.
That is most. And this thing included Mr. President himself and the family travel to Katsina by air and travel by road with his family from Katsina to Daura, which means the man is so important to Nigeria, even in death.
As prayers can never be too much, and therefore condolences can never be too much. The nation will continue to miss the great president for years to come and for generations to come. And I hope we have done enough, but I don't think we will stop honoring him so long as Nigeria exists. His name will continue to reverberate through the nooks and crannies of this nation. May Almighty Allah accept his soul in paradise. Amen.